The woman is looking at the city destroyed by the nuclear bomb and shed tears. Her boyfriend Anthony arrived and dragged her downstairs in hurry. When everyone ran to the door, the shockwave of the nuclear bomb had already spread to the door. Arthur closed immediately the basement door. People rushed over and opened the door that was about to close. After these people entered, Arthur closed the basement door hardly. Then he switched on the power and stated his rules. The most terrifying thing about a nuclear bomb when it explodes is not the high-temperature shockwave, but the nuclear radiation left after the explosion. Without Arthur's permission, no one can open the door of the basement at the same time. The daily food must be distributed by Arthur. Arthur was the owner of the basement, and people agreed with his rules. At this time, the shockwave generated by the nuclear explosion has not completely dissipated. The lights in the basement began to flicker, and the ground began to vibrate violently. Countless sundries fell from the ceiling after the power was cut off again. The basement became dark after the shockwave dissipated. Arthur restarted the power, which gave hope to the fearful people. Arthur told them that the violent shaking just now was because of the collapse of the building. Afterwards, Arthur took everyone to familiarize themselves with the situation in the basement and told them to save all the supplies here. The man named Barney called his friend Josie, and they were about to leave here. Arthur found out. He rushed forward with an axe in hand and educated them about the dangers after a nuclear explosion. The two gave up, but the seeds of hatred had been deeply planted in their hearts. With the trapped here longer and longer, the darkest side of human nature is emerging slowly as the days go by. The food is gradually reduced by Arthur after a few days. Anna's boyfriend finally couldn't help it and yelled at Arthur. Anthony thought that Arthur should not set all the rules so determined. Anthony encouraged everyone to oppose Arthur's rule, but before Anthony could finish speaking, Arthur slapped Anthony directly. Seeing this, the others who had opinions fell silent. At this moment came the sound of the door being cut, which is strange. How could there be people there? All looked towards the door nervously as the voice outside the door became clearer. They understood that it was the rescuers, but Arthur knew that they must have come here in a bad way, so he immediately asked to turn off the lights. The door was opened slowly. Several armed men in protective suits walked in and pointed their guns at the survivals. They didn't shoot, but looked up and down. Then the armed men's eyes fell on the little girl. The team immediately snatched her and put her into a protective cabin. Then the team took the little girl out of the basement regardless of the obstruction of the people in basement. Seeing that they would be in danger soon, Josie could only overturn the table. The remaining few people hid in the basement in a panic. In the dark basement, the armed personnel searched for a long time but failed. The team left the basement with a bucket of water. The remaining two team members were taken down because they were not familiar with the terrain. Someone fell down together. Arthur closed the door to the basement with Bert's help. After doing all this, people came forward to comfort the woman Lucy who lost her child. Although a little girl was arrested in the basement, the silence of the past has returned. They start to check the remaining supplies and found that the remaining food and water could not last for a month and everyone would die here. Arthur decided to let one person go outside to search for supplies. Josie became the best candidate. Josie's younger brother was unfortunately injured in a battle with armed men, so Josie was the least likely one to escape. Soon, under Arthur's arrangement, Josie put on the protective clothing of the armed team. As the door opened, the scene outside shocked everyone instantly. There was no city in front of them, Only a long white passage appeared in front of them. Josie knew that she didn't have much timing. She immediately walked forward along the passage. Soon, Josie came to a place similar to a laboratory and found that the group of armed men were actually conducting human experiments, and Lucy's daughter became an experimenter. At this moment, a team member discovered Josie didn't dare to stay any longer. Sooner or later, the armed personnel will catch them for human experiments, and then all their organs will be used as experimental specimens. Hearing this, everyone fell into despair. At this moment, there was another sound from the basement door. People became nervous and stood up. Everyone discovered that the armed men did not come in at all, but welded the basement door to death. Yes, the surviving people can't get out anymore as the materials in the basement become more and more scarce. The conflicts among the survivors become more and more serious. Some people began to have resentment against the owner of the basement. Bert even took out the gun he had hidden long ago, but accidentally discovered Arthur's secret base. Bert threatened Arthur to tell the password of the secret base. As the door opened, Arthur launched an attack on Bert. This scene happened to be seen by Anna next to him. Anna immediately called the rest of the survivors to look at the ferocious Arthur. The resentment among them had been accumulated for a long time, and all of them broke out at this time. With the joint efforts of several people, Arthur was tied tightly to the chair, and in Arthur's secret base, there is a huge amount of food and drinking water stored. Bart began to think about Lucy, and soon became a plaything for these men. Anna is temporarily safe because of Antony's protection, but she knows in her heart that her safety is only temporary. On this day, Anna was in charge of Arthur's daily life as usual. In order to please Anna, Arthur revealed his hidden secrets. He told Anna that there was still a gun in the warehouse. After learning that, Anna immediately found her boyfriend, Anna, to attract other people's attention, and Antony went to the warehouse to look for a pistol, but Antony was discovered. He chose to smash the can and threatened Bart with a gun. At this time, Josie's brothers heard the sound and came. But Antony's gun went off and hit Josie's younger brother. Seeing his younger brother was killed, Josie rushed forward and knocked Antony down. But at this time, Bart, who had been threatened earlier, picked up the gun and pointed it at Josie's head. The sinister nature of human nature was fully demonstrated at this moment. Finally, Anna killed Bart with the can lid and then ran out with a gun. Josie chased after. Seeing this, Anna untied Arthur, and Arthur took advantage of the opportunity to shoot Josie, who was chasing him. Josie knew that she will not be long after, directly set herself on fire, ready to die with the rest of the people. Arthur rushed to put out the fire, but Anna came to the toilet. It turned out that Arthur not only told her the location of the gun, but also told Anna the only exit, and Anna slowly closed the door of the toilet. This time, Arthur looked at Anna, who had betrayed him, and passed away with a kind smile on his face. Of the few survivors, only Anna escaped, and in this familiar yet unfamiliar city, where should he go?